a property we're closing on next week, which is a probate. And we have another probate that I think tomorrow night after dinner we'll have a contract on. And we have two others sitting that we're nurturing.
I know who's treating to drinks and dinner in Phoenix.
Yeah, if we get it. If we get it, you got it.
Just kidding.
Oh,
just kidding. But that is cool. I like hearing things like we've got this probate, it's this, and this one's probate, and this probate. Because you've dialed in the niche.
Yeah, we have two of our senior transition clients have supposedly leads that they're sending to us today and tomorrow. So we'll see about that too. So that's kicking in.
Cool. I see some others jumped on. Victor, what's up? Stephanie, how are you? Bob, I see you're there. No video again. Terry, what's going on? Lorraine.
I'm driving, unfortunately, so the video would not be impressive.
Yeah, no, you're kind of like Dominique. I think she dropped off. Maybe her signal did. So don't, unless you're like Stephanie, and I could tell you're in the car, but it looks like you probably pulled over and parked. Don't be trying to turn video on and all that stuff, Bob. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and get rocking and rolling here. I gave it about 5 minutes. Some others will start to jump in a little bit late. I've got a couple quick announcements, some housekeeping stuff for the week. Then I'm going to open up the floor for some discussion, questions, that kind of stuff. And then I do have something after that that I want to kind of throw at you guys. Nothing really formal to present, but it's something I want you to start to chew on. And I'm curious where you guys stand on some of this stuff. So a couple quick announcements for those of you guys that are Investor Harvest members. Our first monthly webinar is tomorrow afternoon, noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern time. Myself, Jake, I think the whole team's going to be on. Reed's going to be on, and Roger. But myself and Jake, we're going to be going deep into not just the offer generator itself, but more importantly, like how's he using it inside of his company? How's he outsourcing that right to his VA team? What parts are they filling out? What process are they using before he and Marie actually get involved in looking at that thing and that kind of stuff? So it's going to be probably going to take about 25-30 minutes to teach it, and then we're going to open the floor and go Q&A scenarios, get you guys some feedback, help you out with that. If you're not an Investor Harvest member, I did send an email out. It's going to be trickling out. I sent it out to our entire database, a couple thousand names on there to let you come on to this one as a guest to see some of it, see a little bit about it, learn a little bit more about Investor Harvest and where we're going, what our plan is with that side. So if you're interested in the webinar tomorrow, even though you might not be in Investor Harvest just yet, you will have that opportunity. Just keep your eyes open for the email. They're slowly dripping out as we speak right now. Thank you, Lead Vault. Thank you, Automation, to be able to do that for me. So those are the big things as far as this week that are happening. Outside of that, if you are not an Investor Harvest member and you want to attend the event that we're doing in February over in Phoenix, you can get registered for that. I put some information out there, told you where to go, told you to send me a message if you need help with that, if you want to get involved in it. We are letting some guests come into that first event only because we ended up with a bigger room and we have a little bit more space. So since we had that bigger room, that extra space, we are extending that opportunity out there, and we've got a pretty stacked lineup for the 3 days. And in case you didn't hear, for my Investor Harvest members as well, lunch is 100% included on all 3 days with that event. So it's a free event and lunch is included. I don't know a better place to go and learn more about your business and real estate and marketing and all this stuff if you just show up and spend the 3 days and you get your lunch fed to you. Thank you to one of the sponsors that said, hey, I want to provide all the lunch. It's a title company that Marie works with there in the Phoenix area. And then we even got the place donated to us, the room, which is why we're extending that out now and offering more people through Mia, one of our members, for brokerage. And for some of you guys that are dual hatters, like a Victor, that are investor and agent, if you're at the event on Wednesday, her entire real estate brokerage team is coming in the room for about an hour and a half for their weekly team meeting to learn marketing topics, to sit in on our event to learn about it. So there'll even be a chance to network a little bit with some other agents and that kind of stuff. So a couple cool things going on there. If you want to get there, if you haven't registered yet, we still got that opened up. Once we hit capacity, though, we are going to take the registration down for that. So it's kind of your one chance to get a really cool free event out of it. Except my final announcement, it may look like the normal backdrop. However, Roger, myself, and as well as Jake and Marie on the Investor Harvest side, we made a really big move this past week, literally a big move. I moved from all of about 8 doors down the hallway into a different office. But this office is about 1,000 square feet, where I'm in the process of creating an entire recording studio, photo studio, the whole 9 yards here in this room that is going to be available to you guys when we start opening up the office every single month for people that want to come out. You have a place, we can set stuff up, we can record things, we can shoot video for you, we can get photos of you, but then right outside this door out here, there's going to be a training room where we are going to be able to host at any given time about 20 to 25 people and run trainings right here inside the office. So you're going to be seeing some things rolling out probably starting in March, where we're going to have some strategic ones scheduled throughout the course of the year, but then I'm going to be producing a calendar that if, hey, you just want to, hey, I want to go and spend 2 days with Shawn over at the office and bang some stuff out, you can schedule it on the calendar, book it up, boom, you get yourself out here to LA. You've got a place to spend 2 days. We can dive deep in your business, knock your stuff out, basically trying to pull out all the stops and say you've got zero excuse to get your marketing right. Sound good? Quick thumbs up on that. Anybody excited for that part? I know I am. And I'm excited for those that I know are going to probably take advantage of it like crazy. Some of you guys I'm going to probably have to kick out the door, tell you to stop coming. But other than that, let's go ahead and open up the floor to see what comments, questions, thoughts you guys have. Is there anything that's been burning on you? Anything that you've been kind of waiting for today to show up and ask? It doesn't matter what it is, involving all areas of the business from a marketing standpoint, lead vault, automation, CRM. Doesn't matter. I want to make sure I get your questions answered before we shift any gears. So I'll shut up and open the floor. And I know somebody's got something.
Quick question.
You say trick question or two question?
Quick.
Oh, quick.
What's the current, let's say, attitude towards SMS campaigns? I mean, because I know months ago it was kind of questionable. Some are still using it, some aren't, depending on their getting their numbers being spammed.
Yep, great question. So when it comes to SMS campaigns, and if you guys don't know what SMS stands for, we're talking about text message campaigns, text blasting, right? My stance on SMS, and this is, I'm going to really preface this with, this is my stance, Eric. You could probably go ask 10 people and find 8 different variations to this. As a marketer, text message is the fastest way to get a message in front of somebody. The stats out there are staggering. It's like 90% of text messages are actually read, and 95% of the text messages that are read are actually responded to. Now, put a little parentheses around the word responded to. That response could be stop, go away, F you, lose my number, that kind of stuff. But my point is, from a marketer standpoint, all my job is in this spot before I move to the next task is gain attention. And I know getting that message on the cell phone gets attention. They're gonna look at it, right? And I've got a high probability that they will respond. And I'm okay with responses of go away, don't talk to me, lose my number, because I'm filtering out the junk, right? Now, where I'm gonna bring my stance to this all is SMS alone, in my opinion, is detrimental. Meaning, if all I do is go buy data, skip trace it, get phone number, and think I'm just going to text and text and text and text and text, as my marketing campaign, I'm increasing the probability that my number is going to get reported too many times as spam, get myself blocked. And if I don't do it right, I can run that situation of just burning. It's called burning your phone number. When you're sending way too many text messages, they're bouncing, they're, going to inaccurate numbers. If your data wasn't clean, if people were reporting it as spam, that kind of stuff. So text message, I love it, but I love it wrapped into a multi-touch campaign. Cold call with a text behind it, that's better, right? Call, get a voicemail, or use automation like Lead Vault does, where I can dump them in, drop a ringless voicemail to them, followed up with a text message talking about the voicemail that was dropped. I'm minimizing the likelihood that people are going to say spam. And if anything, they'll just start to say, not interested, go away, take me off your list, these type of things, helping me filter that down. Postcard mailing, right? Direct mail, followed up a few days later after we think that mail would be there, saying, hey, sent you some mail the other day, just wanted to double check that you got it. These type of text messages initially to get the conversation going, I love them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. The whole last SMS 2,000 a day, that was a waste of time anyway.
Yep.
So I like it with better wording to follow up with a RVM or follow up saying, hey, I sent you a letter or something, direct mail last week.
Yep. Now in Phoenix, I'm going to be doing a presentation. I probably won't have it fully ready before then. But for sure in Phoenix, I'm going to be doing a presentation on programmatic marketing, geofence marketing, and what we call over the top with streaming ads. When we start playing with this type of marketing channels, where I can for like 30 days have multiple ads in front of somebody across 700,000 plus apps and websites, and my brand is out there and I'm building a big brand image through these channels, bringing some more traditional direct message type marketing like text that's a little bit more vague or a little bit more to the point, but tying my name in the text to what I know is out there, and they're probably seeing my brand ads. We can start to get back to maybe not 2,000 a day, but we can start to get back to more of a broad campaign. Does that make sense there?
Yeah.
And I'll talk more about that when I do the presentation, how we layer these and what each piece is really designed for. But initially, you're better off taking a smaller list, playing the longer game, and actually doing a text campaign to get response. That's it. Not text to get the yes for selling my house. I'm just trying to text to get a conversation going.
Got it.
Anybody else have any questions or need more clarity around anything I just broke down there? Sal's little character image cracks me up because I think he's waving his or raising his hand saying yes. All right. Anybody else have any questions? Any other topic or anything else?
I got a question about the CRM. Is there an easy way to get addresses into it other than a CSV file? Like tell like your Gmail to upload into it or something like that?
What do you mean? Give me a
Well,
scenario.
for example, as I meet other people in real estate investing, I usually throw them in my Google contacts.
Okay.
I-
You're out networking, you meet somebody, you want to be able to have that information immediately go into the CRM
Right.
for you. Yeah, I don't know what CRM you're using. I
Well,
don't think you're using
Yours,
Huh?
Lead Vault.
You set up a Lead Vault account?
Yeah.
Awesome. I don't pay attention to every single account unless I've worked in your account. Something that we did for, I believe, Lorraine, we were working on this when she was out here back in whatever that was. Chris, Sal, you guys can remember. I think it was May, June, whatever it was. She was going to an event, and this is almost Tony, the exact question that she had. Hey, I'm going to this event. I want to be able to get people straight up into the CRM. And here's how I would do it. Create a form inside a Lead Vault. You can go in there, you can create your own form, name, phone number, email, whatever information you want them to fill out, right? You can send that to the team, tell them, hey, put that on my website as a page that's non-discoverable, but I just want it on the website. So it'd be yourdomain.com / and then whatever you want to call it / contact.
Okay.
Take that link and go create a QR code. And all you need to do then is have that QR code. You can save the QR code on your phone. And when you meet somebody, you can just say, hey, scan this QR code. When they scan it, it's going to open up to that page that just has the form and say, do me a favor, just fill out your quick information on there so that I have it and I don't lose it, because I don't use business cards. I'm more in this digital era.
Oh, like
Anytime
that.
somebody asks me for a business card when I'm out at an event, this is what I tell them. No, I don't do the traditional business cards where you're just going to throw it in the trash. I own a digital agency. I'm more digital. So here, go ahead and scan this. Or a lot of times I just tell them, hey, go to our website, look some stuff up. All my contact information is on our website that I want them to have. But in your case, Tony, you're trying to get their information
Yes.
into the system really fast.
Yes.
That's how I would do it.
Okay. Because usually what people wind up doing is sending you, calling you on your phone, and then, you put in their name and whatever, but okay.
You can even, if they don't want to do it, you can just pull it up yourself on your phone and go, okay, type it out, hit submit, boom, it's in your system. I wouldn't make that form big. Name, phone number, email. That's all I care about in the moment.
Right.
Maybe a box that has maybe a check box that's like, is this person a buyer, a seller, a lender, a wholesaler, whatever it is. I can kind of give you more guidance once you have an idea of what you want in there on how.
I think you said about everything I'd want. Yeah.
And I would keep it super simple. Takes 25, 30 seconds for somebody to fill it out, whether that's you or them. And I would encourage them to do it.
Okay.
It goes to a lot of the other stuff that I talk about. If you're running retargeting marketing, if you're running postcard retargeting marketing and these type of things, ad retargets, telling them to go to your website gets them cookied in, and now I can chase them behind it. So there's really a method to the madness on why I don't give out business cards. I don't tell them this, but I want them to go to REI Toolbox because I got about a 70% chance that I'm going to find their mailing address and have a postcard in their mailbox within 2 to 3 days. Right? I want to continue chasing them around. If we do site retargeting, just by them being on my website, I can now try to chase them with display ads out there in the digital scene where they continue to see the brand. All good with that?
I think I would put as a topic in that box, why should I stay in contact with you? And see what they say.
You could. It'd be very easy to let that form get out of hand as far as way too many things to fill out. So really think about, for you, your process, what you're looking for. The key thing, obviously, name, phone number, email. That's a must. I want to have their name, their phone number, their email, so I can get in touch with them. And then I would keep the other stuff at a minimum for that. And obviously, we can get really creative with this, get very elaborate.
What I normally do for people is I text them a V card from iOS.
Yep. That gives you your information to them.
Right.
Remember, as a marketer and as a business owner in general, there's a saying out there that a company's true value is really on its list of contacts, whether that be clients, whether that be business contact, vendors, these type of things. The big value in your company comes from your list. So yeah, right. Tony, you texting them the V card gives your information away, but I want to hold the information. I want their information.
Agreed. I'm just saying, is there a way that if they texted, say, their information to me, or they could text it to LeadVault?
Texting, no. There is. We can get a lot more, and this is going to take a lot more development.
No, I understand.
That kind of stuff. There could be some other ways to push it in. I'm giving you the simple, easy. you could go do this right now. You
Right.
could go create the form inside of Lead Vault. You could put the boxes in there. You can go to a free QR code maker. You can have that thing on your phone within the next hour.
Right.
Right? That's the simple.
You could then trigger, if
Go ahead, Dominique.
they fill out the form, it would then email or text them your information
Oh, you could build
automatically
an
once they're
entire-
done filling it out.
Yep, you could build an entire workflow behind it.
Wow, I like that. That sounds neat. You said, yeah, that would be great. You fill this out, you'll get my info. That's nice.
Not to mention, I mean, you can go crazy with that workflow. All kind of follow-up reminders, all kind of stuff happening. Create tasks to remind yourself to follow back up with them at other time, all kind of stuff.
Yeah, nice. Thank you.
Cool. Anybody else got something? I'm about to call on Sal just because his little character image. Chris is like, no, shaking his head, no, don't do it.
I don't know where he went. My mom took him away somewhere. Who knows?
Go to the garage. That's where they're at.
Yeah, probably. Getting in a fight, street fight.
All right. Well, then, since nobody else has any other questions, I got a question for you guys. I'm gonna ask it. I want you to take about 30 to 45 seconds to think about it. Sal, welcome back. Glad you're still alive. But you're gonna have about 35, 45, maybe a minute to think about it. And then I'm gonna go around the horn. I want each of you guys to spit an answer to this. So the question is this. It's really gonna be twofold. The first part of this question, do you know who your largest competitor in your market is? And what I mean by largest competitor, let's go to brands that we all would know and recognize. Who is Coca-Cola's largest competitor? Somebody shout it out.
Dr. Pepper.
Pepsi.
Pepsi, right? Coca-Cola, the corporation, their largest competitor is Pepsi. Why? Pepsi's got a ton of different brands and sodas, and so does Coca-Cola. Right? And there's the whole Coke versus Pepsi battle. McDonald's. Who's McDonald's largest competitor?
Burger King.
Could be Burger King, maybe Wendy's, right? Those are probably the top two. Unless you're out
Chick-fil-A.
west, it's In and Out. That's what I mean by largest competitor. So for you, in your business, in your market where you do business, the first part of this question is ask yourself, do I know who my largest competitor is? You got a ton of competitors, guarantee it. But I want you to think about, do you know who the big boy, the big girl? And then if you can answer yes to that question, who is it? Put a name, write it down. Who is that competitor? I'll give you about 30, 45 seconds here.
BlackRock.
Say it again, Dominique.
And almost for all of us, the biggest competitor would be BlackRock.
Not necessarily for everybody. They're not in all markets. I mean, they are, but they're not necessarily focused on all markets. And you can take that big of a big boy out of the equation. And I only say that because it would take a lot for someone like me and you in the real estate industry to compete with a BlackRock. All right, about 5 more seconds. And then I'm just going to randomly pick one side of my screen, and that's where we're going to start. I'm going to start on the right side of my screen. So Chris, you're the first one up. Do you know it? First off, yes or no?
Open door for us.
Okay, open door. I can skip Sal because I bet your answer is the same.
Okay.
Tony, do you know it? And if so, who is it?
Technically no, but Home Investors would be a decent one in our area, and a couple other LLCs that have been in business in Lakeland for a few years. I
You
don't
know those
remember their
names?
name.
Do you know the names of those couple others?
I have noticed them before, but off the top of my head, I don't remember them.
Eric.
Yeah, the ugly houses, home investors usually is a big one. Friend of ours down in Jacksonville, kind of core of the market down there, and had a lot of weight to throw around within his own community within there. Locally up in Waynesville, there's not really too many people doing things up here. Charleston, South Carolina, I know two of the major guys that flip a lot of homes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Seagal. Do you know it? And if so, who is it?
We have
You muted yourself.
on Maui, it's Maui Home Buyers, and they are connected with Big Pockets, so they are pretty strong. So, but we're doing really well. We sometime above them. So, thanks.
Let's go to Victor.
On my end, I'm gonna say the zombie house flippers.
Zombie house flippers. Okay. Dominique. I'm kind of going in a zigzag up and down the screen here.
I actually just did a search on this morning. It came out Omni, who I had never heard of before. But that's
Omni.
who was at the top of our Google search.
Yeah, and I'm not asking from a Google standpoint. I'm asking from like, hey, I know that this company, they buy a lot of homes. They do a lot of real estate. They're always doing deals. That's what I mean by your largest competitor. Because your largest competitor may not even be focused in the digital scene.
Right.
Whatsoever, right? So don't limit yourself to just who's showing up on the Google side. Okay. Kurt. Can't hear you. I don't know if you're audio connected or not. I'll let you try to figure that out. Is it Christelle? Did I say that right? I can't hear you either.
Oh,
Can you hear me now, Shawn?
Now I can hear you, Kurt. Yes. I don't know if your audio got connected there, Christelle, as well.
In my area, it's an organization called New Western.
Okay. All right. Oh, the screen just moved on me. Terry, I'll come back to Christelle, see if she got her audio connected.
We buy homes and CT homes.
They ain't big. Ken, I know you were a little bit late, but the question was, do you know your largest competitor? And if so, what's their name? And I think Ken's freezing on us. We'll come back to Ken. I already went to Dominique. Lorraine, are you there? I don't know if you're just listening or not.
I'm listening. I don't know who my biggest competitor is, honestly.
Honest. Marie. I think she's there. Maybe not. We'll come back. Bob.
Domain Homes and Mark Spain. New Western's another one, as it was mentioned. They're pretty big out here as well.
Got it. Eileen. I don't know if you can hear me or not.
Sorry. Charleston Home Buyers, Parker Styles, and Garrett Bean.
Okay. And then is it Giselle Holmes? That's the name that I see on the screen.
I don't know as well.
She's with me.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I'm with Dominique.
All right, perfect. Christelle, let's hear it.
Hi, can you hear me now?
Now we can hear you. There it is.
Yes, I'm not sure as well because I work with Kim and Jean, but I think it's New Western and Blue Halo Homes. So yeah.
Got it. So you're with Chris and Jean Onyx up in the Chicago
Yeah,
market, right?
on Sundays.
Cool. All right. Why do you think I asked this question? Do you know your largest competitor, and if so, why? Why is it important to know that?
So you can swipe what they're doing?
Or counter,
Okay. What else? These aren't wrong.
So you can see what they're not doing.
Okay. Still not wrong. Who else has ideas?
You might use what they're doing and accent it. So when people look at their products, if you have a small twist off on that, you're using their momentum for your benefit also.
Yeah. Anybody else have a thought? Russell Brunson came up with this theory. It's not really a theory. He came up with this process. If any of you guys know who Russell Brunson is with ClickFunnels and this type of stuff, years and years and years ago, they pretty much built a big portion of ClickFunnels off the methodology of what's called funnel hacking. Finding funnels that work really, really well. And this is what he said. This is how he built ClickFunnels. He said that he went and hacked all the best funnels out there, mimicked them, packaged them all up. And that's why he called, that's why he made ClickFunnels, so that you don't have to waste the time funnel hacking. But the theory of funnel hacking is what really becomes intriguing. And all funnel hacking as a business is when I know my largest competitor, I can competitor hack. I'll repeat that. When I know my competitor, I can competitor hack. So everything that you guys were saying is 100% true. If they're doing something, if I see a lot of a certain type of marketing, what if you guys, a couple of you guys said the We Buy Ugly Houses, right? The Homevestors. Well, Homevestors is notorious for having billboards. They're notorious for having a lot of signage out, right? They're notorious for spending a lot of money in the digital world, search engine marketing, these type of things. If I'm competing against them and I want to hack that, all I need to do is pay attention to what it is that they're doing that's consistent, not the flash in the pan type stuff. And again, I'm trying to keep us only on the marketing side. Obviously, process, sales, all these other components come into this. But if we just from the marketing standpoint, look at it and go, if they're consistently doing these things, and I can say that they're the largest competitor in this market, they're the ones doing the most deals. Terry, you said CT Homes. Everybody on this call pretty much knows who CT Homes is, right? They're consistently doing deals. Well, what is it that they do? And I want to competitor hack, and I want to start at the marketing standpoint. What is it that they're doing from a marketing side that's driving leads for them? Is it billboards? Is it signage? Is it direct mail? Is it cold calling? Is it advertisements? Is it paid search, Google search? Is it YouTube? What is it that's consistent that brings opportunity? Because if I want to compete with that, I need to start showing up in those areas. That's phase number one of this, or kind of idea one behind competition hacking. The second part is, how many of you guys would agree that when a motivated individual reaches out to you, seller, buyer, whatever the case, right? Vacant owner, whatever, I don't care. Motivated individual looking to get a cash offer on their home, when they reach out to you, are you the only person that they will ever reach out to? Can anybody agree with that statement?
No.
No. Victor, even from a real estate agent standpoint, right? I'm interested, I'm motivated to sell my house. I want to list it with an agent. I reached out to Victor. There's probably, I can't say that 100% of the time they're going to go somewhere else, but I also can't say that 0% of the time they won't contact anybody else, right? I know they're going to go to somebody else. Well, who do they tend to go to? Brands, people, things that have been ingrained in their memory, whether that be through referrals, whether that be through things that they're seeing on a consistent basis. So if my competition is the biggest person out there, right? This my big competition the number one in my market, I need to start replicating what they're doing. I don't necessarily need to do it as much. I might not be even able to compete with as much. But I need to start trying to show up the same way that they are in those consistent spots, because I know that it's working for them. If it didn't, they wouldn't be my biggest competition, and I wouldn't keep seeing all this stuff all the time. Does that make sense so far? The second part of competition hacking is now we get into their process. How many of you guys know your competition's process, meaning how they actually do the business, how they take a seller, if it's a seller, through a process, how they take, I'm thinking Dominique on the property management side, how they take a prospective renter through a process. Lorraine and Ken, you guys are more on the ed notes and tax liens and this type of stuff, more education and joint venture. Have you ever thought of, not just thought, have you ever actually gone in and tried to figure it out or hack them a little bit? And I'm asking this question because just yesterday, some of you guys have been in this office, the building. There was a company that moved in a few doors down. And through wandering the halls and doing stuff throughout the day, I kept hearing things that sound eerily familiar to real estate conversations with a motivated seller. And I was like, what the heck is going on in that office? Right? At first, I just thought it was an office of customer support or something. They're all on headsets and in their phones. And after hearing some stuff, I decided to stop and ask, so what is it that you guys do? Sounds like real estate. And they are a pretty large nationwide real estate company that right now is more known in the real estate agent world because of the way that they do their program. But when I started to ask them questions, they basically said, we buy the house for 70% of its value. That's what we pay them. Sound familiar so far? We pay them 70% of their value. We go in and fix it up, do any renovations that need to happen to it. Still sounding familiar? Then we turn around and we allow the seller to partake in the listing and selling of the property. The listing and selling of the property after the renovation, that sound familiar? But they put this unique twist. They allow the seller to get involved on this. And when it's all said and done, we give them a percentage of the profits and we keep another percentage. So they made their 70% of the third-party appraised value up front. They make a little bit of the profits on the back end. We make our money. Does this sound really familiar? And I stood back for a second and I looked and I said, oh, so you guys just put a really sexy way of explaining that you buy houses for cash, you do a quick close, and you buy and fix and flip houses. And he didn't know how to take the answer that I gave him. But when I started to dig a little bit deeper, this is why I say they're a little bit more predominant in the agent space, they don't go direct to seller. They work directly with agents. So me, the rehabber, I got a good relationship with Victor. Victor's a real estate agent. I go to Victor and I say, hey, dude, you got people that want to list their houses and their houses are ugly. Here's a program that I have that you can extend and offer to your client. I'll come in, I'll buy that, I'll pay them 70% of the as is appraised value for the house. We'll do the renovations. Victor, you're going to go ahead and list it. We're going to let the sellers be involved in it. No different than if you were listing it and working with them. Anyway, when it's all said and done, you're going to get your commissions. I'm going to take my profits out of it, and they're going to get another percentage of the profits over it. And it's a win-win-win across the board. Victor, you think you'd want to help me find opportunities where houses need renovations and people want to list it with you? That's basically what they're doing.
I'm also pretty sure they don't buy the house. They're just starting at a base number to split the profits from.
No, they close. They close. I got really clear on their model yesterday.
Oh,
They
okay,
buy.
because I know other companies that don't buy it. They just go into contract to fix it and then sell it.
Yeah, no, they close on it, and that seller makes 70% of the appraised value right there on that day. They get it in their pocket on closing day. But they're still contractually involved, and we'll see more money on the back end minus fees and all this other stuff. And right now they're slowly spreading their way through all 50 states. They're doing a lot here in California at the moment, but they're starting to expand and push teams, and basically the team that's here, they're trying to launch these type of teams all over the country to build relationships with brokers and agents. They also have another program on the home buying side, which was really interesting. As a rehabber, I need buyers, right? As an agent, I need buyers of my listings. They had a pretty neat little program on that side. But in general, all they are is a competition of a real estate investor. But their program sounds really sweet and sexy and different. So when I had that conversation yesterday, it got me thinking, like, how many, I do this all the time. We hack all kind of companies all the time. I don't want to say that way. This is recorded. We don't hack them from a data standpoint. We hack them from a process standpoint. When I built Rust Belt Rentals from the ground up, our property management company, I had never owned a property management company. I didn't even have the desire to. It landed in our lap. It made sense. It was the next strategic move. And as we decided to go for it, how did we build it? We built it off of by finding everything we liked about property management companies and everything we didn't like about the property management companies in our area. And we built a company around everything we loved and made sense and was working well, and got rid of all the stuff that we didn't like, didn't think was working well, didn't get good results, whatever the case was. And in a very short window, 3 years, it got the attention of the biggest company in our market, my largest competition, DeMar Realty, to where she said, "Excuse me, Shawn, but get out of here. Here's money." It was said in a nicer way than that, but in theory, that's basically what it was. So we've been hacking businesses from day one. Right? There's no new ideas out there, is the easy way to say that. So again, as like I said, it wasn't anything deep to teach on. I'm not going to go to the board and draw all kind of fancy stuff out or whatnot, but I'm curious, what are you guys thinking right now? Or who can tell me, I guess, what do you think the first step in hacking your competition would be? Don't overthink this.
You gotta snoop around and study the competition. Take some notes, what they're doing, what they're not doing.
But get specific. Let's build a task list.
Okay.
Like if I had to say, Victor, from now to next Wednesday, I want you to hack your primary, like your number one competition out there. Here's what I want you to do to get it done. Let's build that. What's that? Here's what you need to do. I can tell it to you right now. I want to get you guys thinking. So what would be the first thing? I agree, Victor, you got to start snooping around. You got to start listening. You got to start taking notes. But let's get clear. Like, what's the first thing I should do?
Sign up as a potential client and see what they do.
I wouldn't even jump to that just yet. That would come deeper in this list.
Oh, call them up and pretend you're a seller.
I wouldn't do that just yet. That's what Dominique was saying. I'd wait a little bit on that.
Check out their website.
There you go. Thank you, Phil. Go check them out online. Not just their website. Go to their website, look through it, look and see what kind of services they have. Look and see what details they have. Do they even have a good online presence? Not a good online presence. Do some Google searching. Search their name. See what starts to come up. Jump over to their social media accounts. Dig in. Right? Become a detective for a few minutes. Try to get a really good feel for what's going on. Is there things happening? Isn't there things? Are they focused a lot on the digital side, or they're not focused on the digital side? Start looking around town. What else do they have out there? This type of stuff, right? The reason I don't want to just pick the phone up or go to their website and fill out a form and try to become the person, right? Their client or their prospect coming in, go to military for a second. If I want to attack a position, I don't just say, Victor, grab your gun, let's go. Boom, we're out there. What do? We send intel out. We get eyes on a place. We collect data. Recon elements hit, right? They feed information back. Where's the guys at? Where's the strongholds? What doors, are they in and out of? What's their patterns throughout the day? All of that data comes in, then we can formulate the plan, then we can go for the attack. Business is no different. I don't want to just jump right in. I'm going to probably get my neck sliced, right? Do your reconnaissance. Step one, look them up, dig into their website, look over their social media. If they're active in the digital scene, watch their videos, all this kind of stuff. Get a really good feel for that. Before I stepped in their door yesterday and asked them, hey, I'm hearing real estate talk. What do you guys do? I had found out who they were. I asked Josh, our floor manager, hey, what's the name of the new company that just moved in? He gave me the company name. I looked them up online. I went to their website. I looked through some stuff. Looked into their social accounts. I had a general idea of what they do before I even asked the question. Right? So do your reconnaissance first. Dig into it. Formulate your plan. Step two, based on those findings, would determine if it's worth moving on or not. Because you may think that this is your biggest competition, but after you start to look at it, you can't find much information about them out there. So maybe they aren't. Maybe it's just in your head that you think they're doing a bunch, but in reality, they're not. But let's say you find some good stuff, and they are, and they're active. Then step two, that's when I would probably go into, maybe I pick up the phone and give them a call. Maybe I fill out a form online. If I'm seeing things on their website, Sal, Chris, you guys are coming to mind like crazy on this one. Lorraine, Ken, this would also kind of fit with you guys as well. If they've got like lead magnets out there, right? Free downloadable information, go fill that out first. Don't fill the contact us form out. Don't fill the I want to sell my house form out. Don't pick up the phone and call them. Just fill out the free thing that they're trying to give away and see what happens. What information are they actually providing? And hint, hint, wink, wink. Don't do this under sal@ohanalegacyproperties.com. Do this under your personal email address. Okay? It sounds like common sense, but I've had some people put their company thing in there and they wondered why nothing really followed up. Go get their free stuff. After you've gotten that free stuff, see if they got any automation built. Do they start feeding other information to you? Like, what's going on, right? Then I would go and maybe I fill out the form. And hey, I want to sell my house. Let's see what happens. Or maybe you pick up the phone, give them a call, and play dumb if you're going to call them. Hey, Eric, this is Shawn. I just happened to stumble on your guys' company. I was seeing some different things out there. I noticed your brand's all over the place in the area. I'm just trying to get a better understanding of like, what is it that you guys do? Right? Not Eric, this is Shawn with Access Home Buyers. We're another real estate company here in the area. I just wanted to talk to you and pick your brain and see how you, no, play stupid, right? Because why? They'll give you some answers then. Then in time, eventually they did ask me yesterday, what is it that you do? How do you know so much about real estate? Oh, I happen to own a digital marketing agency for direct to seller leads for real estate professionals. If you guys are ever interested in getting away from working with just agents and brokers, I can help you drive leads direct to seller for you. Oh, right? Their ears perked up a little bit. But it wasn't until after I'd already got some answers to what I was looking for to see, what was going on, right? So fill out forms then at that point, whatever the case. And that's where I would leave it. I wouldn't go too deep into this, but really you're just trying to figure out like, what is the uniqueness to this? What am I competing against? The key stage is the reconnaissance stage. Do the research, dig deep, watch some of their videos, see what's going on, see if you can find some themes or some trends. This will help you start to formulate what it is that you need to do from a marketing standpoint, from a sales standpoint, from a process, from a messaging standpoint, all of the above. Basically, their message is just a really fancy way of saying, I buy houses for cash. I close fast. They're saying it without saying it. So they don't sound like everybody else, which makes them sound different. Which if I'm competing against them, let's say they were direct to seller, and I'm competing against a company like that here in California, and I know that that's kind of their play, that's their message, can I craft marketing to go against that? 100%. Think of burgers. They do it all the time. What's Wendy's little slogan about their burgers, their meat? It's what? Victor, I think you said it. You're muted.
Never frozen.
Fresh, never frozen. Why? Because McDonald's and Burger King, well, McDonald's, they say, is frozen, right? What's Burger King's spin? Why their burger is better?
What is it that they're on the grill?
Flame broiled.
Flame broiled. Yep.
Flame broiled and have it your way. All these are messages to fight the competition. You both sell a burger, all three of you, right? Wendy's tries to play on, I want to tell people mine's fresh, never frozen. Why? Because I want people coming in feeling like they're getting fresh meat. Burger King's like, no, you don't want to go home and put it on the grill and grill it yourself. That's what we do. We flame broil. We grill it right here in house. At the end of the day, they're all burgers. This making sense? Hacked competition. So, Victor and everybody else on the call, your task this week, do some research, do the reconnaissance, dig in, spend a day or two, maybe not the whole day, but spend some time over a day or two, allocate a little bit of time, dig into them, play with it, watch the videos, all that kind of stuff, right? Then see what they've got, maybe opt into some free stuff, see what starts to happen over the next couple of days, go fill out a form, see what actually happens, that kind of stuff. And I'm curious what you guys come to the call next Wednesday and say. Because some of you guys, this might be a big light bulb moment. You might realize, holy crap, wait a minute. I could compete with my competition pretty quick. Others, we might have to play a little bit deeper, right? We might have to bring some extra tools in to help with it. But I would even, if you're going to go and opt in to somebody's stuff, I'd watch response time. If I fill out a form on somebody else's website, how long does it take them to call me or send me a text or send me an email? Like what's happening after I fill it out? Do I get forgotten? Am I left in the dust? I did this with a real estate CRM last week. There's a new one that's popping up. CRMs are a dime a dozen, right? That's why we don't run ads and all that stuff to lead vault, because there's a dime a dozen. But there's another one in the real estate space that's trying to make themselves like out to be the best real estate CRM ever. And I was curious what would happen. So I went and filled out the form as Shawn at Access Home Buyers. Real estate brand, right? Looking for a real estate CRM. That was a week ago. I've still yet to hear a phone call, still yet to receive a text message. I've still yet to get an email from that CRM that says their CRM is so great with automating follow-up. So, competition hack. Thoughts, comments, questions? I do got to jump in about 3 minutes. Promised a friend I'd jump on and support his webinar.
I wanted to ask, irrelevant to this, I need a refresher. I want to add another service to my business, specifically solar. Toying with the idea, now I'm getting better with the solar and the program that we're going to be offering, but should I add another page under services in Video Homes, or should I go ahead and create a new LLC altogether and not associated with VDL?
doing solar install,
Yeah,
like selling solar systems to homeowners.
correct.
You would not want to wrap that into VDO homes. 2 reasons. It could become very confusing to the actual person, right? Think somebody comes there because they're interested in solar, and all of a sudden they're seeing all this other stuff that you also buy houses and all that. They're like, this VDO homes dudes, they're going to come and put solar panels on my house and then try to buy it from me. The other part is, I guarantee it's going to confuse the hell out of Googlebot.
Okay.
They're going to be like, wait a minute, I thought you were real estate brands, agent and investor is okay to blend together because it's still real estate related. Now you're over here talking solar, whole different thing. I would form up a new entity. I'd spin up a whole new website just on the solar side. And solar, when it comes to that, dude, we could talk some really creative marketing that you could be doing to land solar jobs.
Okay. I gotta book a call then. Because I came across some good programs that I wanna, start pumping out.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Grab time on my calendar. Let's talk about it.
Okay.
All right. Anybody else? Thoughts, comments, questions? All right. I will see some of you guys, maybe all of you guys, tomorrow on the webinar. Have a good one.